This is Dave Watham. He lives here. He's been here since he was 12 years old. Donated by his parents.
Another Scripps booth.
Now, was there like a styling, that little bullet in the front there?
Yeah, the Pony car, the Pony has that. The Rocket had the first car was the Rocket. So this is the Pup. So if you look at this one, it's the first one to have a 4-cylinder in it. And if you look, the driving position's in the rear. So as they got longer and faster,
like an airplane.
Yeah, you couldn't put the person in the front, or it would literally, it would topple because of the change of weight when you tried to turn it. But so this one's got mechanical brakes, belt drive, and they clocked it at 93 miles an hour.
So if you could take a look over here, belt drive, there's like a little wire wheel with a belt going around it to the rear axle.
I love that it's an actual wire wheel for the belt drive.
I love that.
It's the details that sell these things.
Right. Wow.
So we've got a 42 Packard. That would have been one of the last ones to go down the assembly line before they shut down for war.
So 42 convertible. So think about this. Car companies were ceasing production just about across the board. American car companies stopped producing in 1942, somewhere during the year. So at best, it was a half year of manufacturing before they went to building Jeeps and tanks and airplanes and whatever. So 42 cars are rare, but when you find a 42 car, it's usually plain Jane, just a simple sedan, because many of them went off to become used as army vehicles or service vehicles or government vehicles. Here's a dressed up Packard convertible. That's a rare sucker.
It's a neat piece.
Yeah, that's great.
Firebird, one of 3. That would have come from Heinz Prechter's American Sunroof Corporation.
Oh yeah.
And they built those to prototype to show that they could build the car as a convertible, which is interesting because they did the Camaro the same year and they sold those production. This one never went into production, so they only built 3 of these.
So they built the Camaro, not the Firebird.
Yeah.
You sent me a picture of this, and I'm intrigued with it. Tell me about it.
This is the McCauley Pan American. So Packard was built the Pan American show car. They built one, and it was such a success that they built 6 of them. So they toured all over. After that show, Mr. McCauley purchased one of the cars to use as his own personal vehicle. Now, if you look back, step back and look at the scope of the car, it's channeled 4 inches, or sectioned 4 inches. So they cut 4 inches out of the center of the car.
What model was it?
It's a Clipper.
Clipper, okay. So there's 4 inches taken out of here.
So I've got this door panel off, and you can see here.
Oh yeah, here to here.
Yeah, where they've actually they've cut the center section out of it, and then molded it.
Did Packard do this themselves?
Henny did it.
Henny.
So they're coach builder.
Yep.
This one is, even within there being 6, this one is a one of one because after Mr. McCauley purchased it, he continued to update it to reflect current Packard styling. So like the fins and the taillights and the rear bumper are later Packard. The dash is 54, and it's got that chrome grille on the front of it that's from the next generation from the original. But it's got, if you look at the front of it, it's got the M script on it, which is for McCauley.
And what was his position with Packard?
He was the president of Packard.
Okay.
And if you look at the emblems on the doors, his wife, that's her initials, Marjorie McCauley. Those are actually all diamonds and rupees. When we restored the car, we sent it to a jeweler to have those restored, and he told us that these were they're all diamonds and rubies.
Wow. This bumper ends here. There's another fascia.
Yeah, there's a chrome drip rail. So there's a chrome gravel guard.
Wow. What a beautiful grille. And, reminiscent of a vintage Packard, back from, say, the 30s. The large center section and 2 side sections.
That went into production on the next generation of Packards.
Right.
The interesting thing is, so that hood, you see how long and that scoop runs a hole?